Thank you for letting me know, but this is you know, I'm just gonna repeat what I just said. This is where I get my music from. This is all non-copyrighted music, places you can use for like live streaming music and whatnot. So yeah, and then like my YouTube channel. What I was trying to explain, like you could go and look at my past live streams and whatnot if you feel like it, but I didn't realize my mic was muted. I feel kind of bad about that. Thank you for letting me know. So I'm gonna go ahead and like, I have my desktop volume kind of low, so it's not like disturbing everyone all the time. I might actually, wait a second, I might turn my actual volume down on here too, so I'm not like overpowering myself and I can hear what's going on. So like, tonight we're gonna be doing a game design document for a game I'm actually excited to be creating. So I'm like, more game. So let's just go to like playlists. So, gaming music, top 50, spotlight, releases, elevate, voice trap music, drum and bass, dubstep, house, copyright free music, or YouTube. Yep, I'll just set this one. Alright, we're gonna keep that one on. Minimize that. So, under the main content. There we go. See, got my game design document right here. I'll also be bouncing back and forth between like paper, and I will have Google pulled up somewhere so that way I can. I forgot I was working on that one. That needs to be put right there. Like, everything you see being typed on here is on my paper too, so don't be like, whoa. So, let's go ahead and put here. We're gonna actually center it, and we gotta actually bring it down more for. Yeah, the center of the paper. Actually, maybe what it's actually do. Okay, that'll work. Oh no. And hit enter, bring this down a little bit to about 36. Trimming up there, enter it twice. Oh, actually, we're gonna go right here, we're gonna bring it down again. 28 and say based on true events, like when I actually take this into like not Instagram, InDesign, I'm sorry, I'm a little spaced. Here, let's space it. I'm sorry guys, I'm in one of those moods right now, but I'm gonna take this into InDesign and actually like space it out so that we can like have the logo for like the game and everything. I haven't really thought that far into it yet, but right now we're just working on getting the basic concept, the basic idea, getting it where it needs to be, because if you don't, it gets kind of messy and you're like, concept. Organization. Let's organize this concept. Sorry, I'm making weird faces throughout the night just. But, I set 28, well, I've done 22, and this is version 0.1. Original. Finish your masterpiece. a game. Gotta go down more and then put designed by. I don't care if everyone knows my full name. Raylan Lionel. Okay. And for this, we're gonna drop it down to about 16 point font. Oh, yeah, 16 point font. Fuck this page. Okay, it looks like I'm gonna have to go let my dogs out real quick, so we'll be right back. And I'll go ahead and leave you guys with some music, and yeah. Okay, so we're back. I'm gonna turn this a little bit down. That way everybody can still hear me. Anyway, so back to what we were doing. We're working on game design document. For my dog's type driving completely bonkers. Weird boys. Still a dick. Anyway, so yeah, that's what we're doing. We're working on a game design document. If anyone's curious. Let's get my last package. Okay. So we're at 0.16 font. So we're gonna go ahead and let's drop this down one more. 14. Okay, so
These pieces of shit impacted my life in such a way. Oh no. Through it all, my siblings separated. My brothers, superpowers were stepping up.
86, which was 10 years before I was born, which is awesome.
Only I realized that
And all things strange.
they could have gone so terribly wrong. So
I spelled that wrong. I knew I spelled that wrong. Can't spell, guys.
these years of life doing it.
Correct, so skip. Okay, so I'm gonna have to correct that on my paper now too. Okay, so oh, actually, that so it's that.
Not the best place. We lived in an old Victorian style. Only about 15. It was a 3-story
Conducted.
about 3,000 square feet. So you couldn't necessarily hear it inside the house.
Okay.
As you walk into the house, you see the L-shaped stairs to your right.
Scam. That is my disclaimer. So if like anyone's curious, that's what that is.
From the top of the stairs,
That's like my second page right there anyway.
So, me and my 3 best friends.
Eventually when we do take this into hi Chris. So eventually when we do take this into InDesign, you will end up with this lovely thing. Oh, you can see it, it's my flowchart. But what we're going to do is we're going to have our flowchart explained for our next page. Actually, really excited about this.
It was kind of a large lab.
And I'll go back and also add more to it when I start getting more into the research part of this. Or like when I go into InDesign with all of this too, I'll make sure I make my flowchart and it's gonna be like, and it's gonna be like pretty much self-explanatory. I'm not gonna do like a complicated one right now, because if I get it too complicated, I'm gonna be like. And yes, be prepared. There's gonna be a lot of weird faces throughout this whole video, so I'm gonna be like. Thank you, Chris. I do appreciate it. So flowchart explained. You have animation leading into the main screen. I should probably move this down so everybody could actually fully see what I'm doing, because it's gonna get pretty intense. And like tonight, what I'm thinking about doing too is I'm going to also like show you guys what I mean by doing some of the research. There's I believe I have it written down somewhere in here. Yes, I gotta add more obtainable objects. That's gonna be entertaining too. You'll also get to see some of the achievements you can get during this game. one of my favorite ones is going to be oh, where is it? I can't find it. It's okay. I'll find it eventually. That they are getting pretty big. I'm amazed with how big they're getting. Their birthdays are coming up. Lala's is on Saturday, ironically. Where was I? Thing in the main screen. Okay, so this shows the game. It's gonna be similar to Resident Evil because, well, I'm a huge fan of Resident Evil. Okay, he's fine. I'm like, my dog hasn't been feeling good, so if I like randomly jump up and I'm like, gotta run, it's because he's like, yeah. Let's see. I quickly crawled into the ground. My heart was racing. I watched her try 11 minutes. So like, I didn't know what the hell to do. Yeah, start menu. Actually, so start menu, we're gonna say main menu. Actually, no, not this leads into things such as we have one of those time series made out of separate slabs of pork and wood. The birthday is gonna be on the 27th if you're interested. I'm not sure if she sent you the information for it yet, but if not, that's okay. We'll get that to you as soon as possible. And she did tell me about that. I'm actually really excited. Bennett's kind of small. Menus. Capitalize, is it? No, it's going to capitalize that, so that means we should uncapitalize my load game. Documents. It's like, take the stack of them and all over the room. No, don't let me do that. Someone get murdered. This room is spotless. Don't mess it up. Kidding. So I also have, yeah, we're slowly explaining my flowchart. Flowcharts are kind of fun. Alright, as long as she has the details to you, it's all that matters. Please feel free to show up. I'm quite excited about it. There was a options menu. Menu. Contents. Audio options. Screen. Adjustments. Control settings. And anything related to all folks. Why are you growling? Wilford. I think my dogs have lost it, guys. It's kind of funny. Oh yeah, that's right. I did go further into an explanation or something. So I'm gonna tell you guys now. This one's kind of like you have your different sections. It's broken up into many different sections. So like load game menu. Oh, what did I hit? I hit something. Always hitting something. My spacebar doesn't like me. Oh my goodness. My spacebar does not like me, guys. It's kind of funny. But yes, this is probably gonna be full of typos, just be prepared. Okay, play.
Some of my best childhood
Here's select. This option, they are taken to
when I was around my late teens,
another
my favorite subject was
screen,
getting kicked out.
which just plays.
This one particular
Save.
day,
Here's
a little over 10 years.
slots. It's slots.
It was around 10 p.m.
Yeah, so this game will actually have your save slots. I'm thinking about like Resident Evil's layout for this, because something I really enjoyed about it is the way they laid it out. Okay, so you have like your main screen, you have your new game, load game options, and I like the simplicity of it. So I want to take the simplicity of that, kind of transform it and put it into this game, except for I want to make it my own, which is going to be kind of one of those difficult but not so difficult things. I do have a couple concept arts for it, it's just not fully done. Have those problems. So you can select save game and it will take you into a load screen. After the load screen there will be a brief animation. After the brief animation you'll return to normal gameplay. That's right, I explained it like that. I forgot about that. I had to keep it simple so my own mind can comprehend what I was saying. Got the space gun. Can select. Yes, save game. And it will take you to screen. Wrong thing. I put a P in there on accident. I am having typing problems tonight. I am so sorry, everybody. Sometimes it's like just helicopter. Loads. Animation.
He was a little heavy set.
After you will return to the
Yes,
it should be main gameplay. Because if it's not main gameplay, then like I know how that is, you know. I wrote this kind of funky. It's just like basic concept. Sometimes concept can be kind of misleading. Let's see. So you have your new game menu. And this is like gonna be one of the ones that's gonna be kind of interesting, because when you load in, when you have like a new game, it's gonna be like easy, medium, or like easy, hard, depending. If you go easy first, well, it'll be like, well, you know, you're not gonna be able to like fully walk through the game, but it'll easily assist you a little bit better. A player. Select this option. They will be taken. Nope. Option. You'll get to difficulty levels at first.
I explained what had just happened. Mal spoke up and said,
Easy.
He probably thought that you was kind of people with scares and jokes.
Oh. Alright.
She just totally dismissed me. But my cousin tried it and said,
Think like Resident Evil. And how is that? Yep.
They are chuckling and changed the side.
To play through.
The fact that I'm just socially interested.
Oh, I can type tonight. I'm sorry, guys. Let's play through both. You'll get medium and hardcore. Hardcore. Those you'll unlock.
I don't know what this guy was up to. Make sure it's Christian.
Apocalypse mode. Unclock. Oh my goodness, I accidentally put a C in there. I am so sorry. It's just one of those things where you just gotta laugh because it has to say unlock, not unclock. You'll unclock apocalypse mode. I'm having too much fun with this. I'm sorry, guys. So after that, wait, why did I put? Oh yeah, that's right. Fatal Frame gave me another idea for character selection mode. Can I actually put that in my flowchart? Yes, I did. So I didn't fully go into like all the details of what my flowchart does. It's just like my general idea of how this game is gonna run. Simple is better, because the more complicated it is, the more complicated the document gets. The more complicated the document gets, the more like you're just like, there's too many papers. And you don't need like a million pieces of paper. I mean, I got a black and red binder for that, but we don't want it to be like completely full of just one document. But yeah, so I forgot I did that, and this is actually not supposed to be what it says. It's supposed to be this is the character selection menu. Something that I was actually fully thinking for this, and I think that it might change, because like in Fatal Frame they don't have ID cards. That's like a Resident Evil thing, like director's cut thing. So I'm like, that might not be a good idea. So we'll come back to like that when I like edit it on here too, because I'm like, I just realized that's not gonna work. Alfred, what's your problem? No function, buddy. Is that your problem? Was your brother in your spot? Is your brother in your spot? Sorry, I had an attention whore for a dog. I love the pupper. He's like giant. Alright. Come on, Alfred. Go lay down. Okay, so yeah, when we get back to the flowchart explain part, I will actually edit my character selection thing, because I just realized what I have written down is definitely not going to work for this game. It really is not going to work for this game. That's always the cool thing about writing it down first, because sometimes you really do not know how it's going to actually work. And just going through my flowchart and seeing like, yeah, I'm like, this isn't a very good idea. So yeah, when I go back to explaining my flowchart on a different piece of paper, I will put it on the back of this one too, but I need to actually fully think about how you're going to select your characters, so when I start doing like the character design and stuff like that, I'll make sure that I also edit my document a little bit better too, because this is just like my rough draft of my ideas and how I want this to run, how I want this to work, how I basically think that this should actually go. But my character selection part, I need to think a little bit harder on, because now looking at it, I'm like, I did ID cards, not a good idea. Granted, I like Resident Evil so much, but still not a good idea to do an ID card. I think what I might do, I might give you like certain stats or something, like, because you're only going to have 2 characters, a male and a female, that are going to be able to develop film, because they do like, their major in school was like photography or something like that, but we'll get there eventually. But yeah, looking at it now, I'm like, ID cards are not going to work. So if that idea is kind of like, let's cross it off with pencil. Kidding, we're not going to cross it off. We're going to actually just go ahead and skip ahead, and then we'll go back to like explaining the flowchart later. But that's one of those, I kind of biffed it a little bit. And that's okay. It's going to happen. We could always just be like, edit it. So I'm not freaking out. I'm not too worried about it. It's not anything that's like too detrimental. But I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead to another page right now. Oh, not too far. I'm going to go ahead and scroll this down so you can see what I'm doing. Oh, why did you do that? Okay, so the other thing that we're going to be working on right now is also my favorite one. I love talking to my mom about my game design documents and stuff like that, because sometimes she just throws a random idea out there and I'm like, smart. This time it was kind of one of those, I had too much fun thinking about it, but your obtainable items. I'm giving you just a brief description right now. I'm going to go through later on and actually like explain how you use each of them, and eventually we'll work on what they look like, how they're going to be handled, how you use them. But like, I figured just for a simple idea, you just simply, hey, short description, short, sweet, we're good. Tell you, hey, this is what the item is. They're all going to be radioactive anyway, so. And like, when we get further on into the document, I'll also tell you about like certain documents you can obtain depending on like your difficulty level. What was the other thing that was just awesome about it? We might actually start on the enemies list tonight, depending. But I'm not going to show anyone the concepts for it yet, because I'm still kind of working out, hey, you know, if we're going to do this, maybe think more about how radiation poisoning can affect things like people's DNA, animals' DNA, things like that. So I'm not like too terribly worried, but I'm like, hey, you know, maybe it's a smart idea. So yeah, let's go ahead and start with obtainable items, and we're gonna put here just short description, because, well, later on we'll actually be listing everything out, like the stats, how they work, all of that. Like I said, this is just typing out what I have on paper, except for that character selection part. Just, I'm looking at it still and I'm just like, I screwed that up bad. The things you learn just from reading. Just yep, we're making the weird faces tonight, guys. The fun part about this stream is I'm making a lot of weird faces, making like at the whole thing. But yeah, so like our first obtainable item, which is actually going to be one of the things that you will be using throughout the whole game, which is a Geiger counter. Funny story about Geiger counters, I get Geiger and Giger mixed up for some weird reason. They're spelled the same way, but they're pronounced differently, I guess. Talk about Giger. Giger, Geiger. Geiger, Giger. I feel like a freaking frog right now. Giger, Giger. Okay, sorry, I'm cracking myself up, so.
In March of 2014, Only the one technical skill in the Great Lakes to
Let's see if you got your counter.
the first few months of the juniors, I was assigned to a short-term counseling situation. I placed
Helps player
the Navy Gate.
measure the radioactivity.
When I was in school, I spent most of my time out in the field.
I don't know. Cool thing about that is, like, the higher the radiation, the more likely death is imminent. There's a certain part in, well, it's real in Chernobyl. I did a little bit of research a while back when I had my studio seminars class, and we were supposed to research something, and I was like, well, maybe I should do Chernobyl, because, well, at the time I was thinking, hey, you know, it'd be really cool to make a Chernobyl game. And I was doing all this research, and the one thing that got me was the fact that there's this highly radioactive thing that even just being around it, you absorb that radiation and it can kill you. And it's called an elephant's foot. And this thing is so deadly that I figured it'd be funny to put it in the game and have it be like, oh, if you go near it, it breaks your Geiger counter. Huh, I broke my Geiger counter. That's exactly how the character's gonna look at it if you just broke my Geiger counter. And, like, your characters throughout this whole game will, like, drop hints to you about stuff like, hey, you know, maybe we shouldn't go in that area. No, I don't want to go. And, like, if you keep trying to go, like, your character will just be like, no, and walk the opposite way. It's just, I have some funny ideas for this game, and the Geiger counter is actually one of the main things that, like, you'll have on you at all times, and you'll be running around this game like, oh, let's read the radiation. Oh, the radiation's at this, so maybe the Geiger counter is, like, super important. Now that I'm actually thinking about it, I should also stick a little, what's it called? Like, a secondary whole thing where, like, you can have your Geiger counter and, like, a weapon if you need to have it, or, the Geiger counter and a map. I don't know. It just kind of depends. Or I could have it be like Resident Evil, where you have to go into the actual map section and be like, oh, gotta look here, gotta look here, maybe look over here, maybe? I don't know. We'll see how this goes. I mean, there's so many different ways to create this game, but like I said, tonight, working on the game design document. Because, well, this is important to keep me on track and be like, oh, hey, these are what I'm doing, this is what I need to do for this game. Pretty much, like, another funny thing about this game is, like, the genre is going to be survival horror, but there's going to be a little bit of humor in it. When we get to the dancing peacock spiders, you'll understand. I don't mean to laugh about it, but my mom gives me some crazy ideas for some fun things to put into video games. Oh, let's get dancing peacock spider. But, yeah, so your Geiger counter is going to be very important throughout this whole game, so I figure I might find a really cool way to make it so that you can have that and something else equipped in. So I also have a joke about radiation and fluorescent shrooms. It's just, I found out something really cool about radiation. It makes, like, trees glow, it makes mushrooms glow, and I'm just like, you know what's funny about it? It's real life for... Koda, you're sitting on my... Get off my freaking computer, dog. Move your butt. Thank you. Thank you. You're a butthead, you know that? If anyone's curious, there really is a dog right there. I figured you guys, there really is a dog. She's just being a butt. Yes, you're just being a butt. Yes, you're just being a butt. Love you. And you. I think there's enough room. You can come lay behind me if you want to, you big pooch. Dogs are like kids. Anyway, so what I mean by that last part right there is the higher the radiation, the worse it is for you. Throughout this game, you're going to have radiation symptoms. and you're gonna have like different herbs you can get eventually that help slow it down or like ease the pain or make you feel okay about it. Whereas you're gonna have like other points where you're gonna be like, that's not gonna work. We need to go to the hospital and get like blood pouches and do an actual blood transfusion. I had another crazy idea for this. I just don't remember it right now because it was just one of those, it might not work. Might be a little too crazy. A wee bit a little too crazy. Anyway, so you have your film and radioactive proof bag, which is very helpful, so I'll put... Yeah... Active... Proof bag... Coda! Okay, sorry guys, give me a second. Hey, you need to go. You're the reason your brother's being a dick. Down. Go. Over. Come. Did you cook my water again? Yes, you cooked my water again. I don't like water normally, guys, but I'm drinking it. Down. Good boy. I'm proud of you. No, don't lick my water bottle. Sorry, I'm gonna drink the water real quick and then I'm gonna start explaining this again. Attention whore. So I guess this dog is literally an attention whore, so if I'm like, oh, I gotta scratch the dog. Alright, settle down, bud. Wait, no, Leilani's birthday was on Sunday. Bye, everybody. So anyway. Really? Are you really trying to kick me off this bed? Come on, there's plenty of room. I'll scoot forward. Christopher's freaking dog. Dogs. Coda, you're being a dick. Okay, no, don't start fighting. Okay. Coda, you're tangled up in my cord. Alright, Ilford, lay down. Yep, see guys, my big old pooch. Hey, no loving, not too much loving. I love you, bud. Okay, Ilford. Okay. Good boy. No, boys. Ilford, down. If you're gonna be a dick, down. Okay. These dogs. Come on, bud. Settle down. See, mommy's petting you. But yes, that giant black and white dog. This lovable pooch right here. You guys can still see on camera. It's my lovable dog, Ilford. He is a pit bull mastiff, and he is a lot bigger than I want to give him credit for. So, and I love this dog stuff. Anyway, so you will get hints if you play as the right character as to, like, what was it? Yeah. Hey, stop licking the bed. Buddy. Hey, stop licking the bed. You don't need to lick the bed. I know you're stressed out, bud. Just so everybody is aware, he is too big to, like... he's gonna be like... Mastiff. Ilford! Hey! Come on. Lay down. Ilford down. Ilford down. Hey. Down. Down. I'll make you leave this room.
First of all, John did not seem like he belonged. He was not depressed, no anxiety, nothing. He was really outgoing. Always smiling.
Don't you dare. Give me a second, guys.
Every day seemed to be a good day. My thought is he was completely normal. This obviously made us question what this is now. When I asked him why he was there, he didn't really have an experience. He never really answered the question.
Let them back in like 5-10 minutes because I get food and water real quick. But anyway, so if you're filming radioactive threats, now this is where things are about to get fun and really. You have a photographer. Photographer goes missing. When this photographer goes missing, it gets interesting. So, players and collect film.
Quickly after that happened, he busted out laughing, saying
collect
he was just doing it.
This
But I laughed nervously and
film.
gave it back to the usual. I only believed that he was just messing with me, but only that there was something
Actually,
a couple of days later,
develop it.
the doctors told me
Is that very enough? Yep. Film contains clues as to what happened to the photographer. Beware, some images are shocking and contain a danger you may not have encountered. There you go, guys. Give you a very big clue right there. There are hints throughout the whole game as to what happened, what's going to happen, what you're gonna face. You oh my goodness, you had even run into like a face shot where it's like holding a skull, being like, poke it out, poke. Or one where it's like, and tour guides getting eaten in the background, and you're just like, you never fully know what I'm gonna throw in this game. But it's a fun thought. It's a very fun thought.
I didn't know who the messages were coming from, but I was obviously pretty skilled. And some of the messages were extremely apologetic too.
Okay, they didn't unplug it. I'm like, why is that dim?
It was disturbing. However, I didn't think much of it. Someone trying to
wait, did it unplug? Hold on.
So I stopped reading the messages eventually. I just stopped getting.
Right, I don't have too much fun. My dogs are out because they like to unplug my stuff. So, hey guys, I'm sitting here wondering why my alien lights went dim. I'm like, what's supposed to happen? Beware the alien alert. It tells you. I'm kidding about it telling you, but where was I? Oh, so many people. Okay. So anyway, just seeing what's going on, because I'm like, ding, 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 ding. People. Alright, anyway, so we're back to the whole, like, the film contains clues as to what happened to the photographer.
Obviously, I was horrified. I didn't know what to do, but the guy was sending me these messages knew exactly what I did. They started to get more of a threat, too. I felt really sick.
There's some images.
I laughed and just died. Someone said this. Why would someone do this? But there was still the second one there. I didn't know click on it, but I wanted to know what it was, so I did.
Not have reason. Okay, so the reason I decided to throw the film in there is because, like, you're not going to be using a digital camera. Radiation can just whoosh that away. So you'll have no clue as to what exactly happened to your beloved photographer. So by me doing this, I'm making it easier for people to understand, hey, film in this baggie preserves it. It saves it. And if you play as one of the characters that can develop it, you get one dark room. Yeah, one dark room. And that dark room you actually have to build. Which means I actually gotta look up the chemicals for that too. Those have to be obtainable items. So we'll have to put Darkroom Supplies somewhere on here. And actually, while I'm at it, since I already have the other sheet right here, we should put Darkroom items. Sorry. Every time I'm about to type something out up here, I'm going to put it on my paper too. Because if I don't put it on paper too, I look back at this and I'm like, it's not on my paper. So Darkroom Supplies, give me 1 second, guys. It's about to come in too. Yes, not yet. Give them a little bit. Just want food and water. So I'll look that up at some point tonight too and be like, oh hey, you know what, we need to put Darkroom Supplies. I'll make an actual list on that part, so that way it's like, you have to get this, you have to get this, you have to get this, this could be here, this could be here, this could be here. You never know where I'm going to put it. Might just make you look. So this next one.
Basically, he said that he would get this.
Tiger Corners. Sorry, I put that in there. Come on, Coda. Oh boy. Sorry, guys. This is your currency. Okay, this will help you progress, help you get further in, help you pretty much, hey, you know, if you run into one of the locals, you could be like, hey, let me trade you Geiger coins for abilities, items, and things to help improve your gameplay. So, let's say you're a low level and you're like, hey, you know, I actually have this many Geiger coins. Like, you start off with like X amount of Geiger coins. So with that X amount, you can actually run into locals and be like, oh, hey, you know what, I need to get a pair of shoes. I don't know what I'm going to face. Sniffy, sniffy. Share. So, pretty much, yes, this is something that you're going to have to get used to with me, is I'm going to be telling you, hey, you know what, this is something you're probably going to want, something you're probably going to need. You might run into a small problem here, you might run into a small problem there, you might end up with a, hey, there's crazy jail little Give me a second, guys, see if my other dog wants. Hey, Alfred, you can stay out there. You can stay out there for a little bit longer. We're going to go hunting now and be like, come on, let me just poke you, pokey. Poke dog. Kidding, we don't. Well, sometimes you do have to poke him and you gotta do it gently. Or like gently kind of scoot his butt so that way he like stands up and it's like, okay, let me follow you. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. Geiger coins. Players.
My boyfriend Jason walked slowly to the truck.
Gather these coins and
We stood around the aisle, trying to push curtains as soon as possible.
that's currency.
And
the game. No? Yes, you coming finally? Hey, big boy. Oh, baby boy. Hey, no, Alfred, come lay down. Come lay down. Come lay down. Come lay down. Lay down. Look. Got your bone. Come back. Hey, no, you're not going to be able to come back up here, bud. Love you. But you need to lay down. Lay down. Down, buddy. Edge. Goofy dog. This dog. Anyway, as I was talking about, so like, your currency helps you advance. The further advanced you get, the better it gets for you. I'm not really thinking, dog, so you bust my water open, so I have to. Dogs. Gotta love them. Here, let's bust your water open. But this currency also helps you, like, if you're like, oh hey, you know what, I'm kind of lacking in this ability, you can turn around exchange it, level that up, and be like, oh hey, you know what, let's get better with a hunting knife, let's get better with shears, let's get better with this fucking machete. Yeah, you know, it's pretty cool things like that that are gonna occur in this game. Let me go hack this down with a machete. Oh, Jason Voorhees, that shit, just... Oh my goodness. Any of you guys curious? I am a Jason Voorhees fan, so you might get a lot of my Jason Voorhees references if I do them. Okay. See if it's gonna leak. We're good, it's not gonna leak. Anyway, so yeah, this is your currency. The Geiger coins, this sounds funny because I mix Geiger and Giger up. It's gonna be funny because it's gonna look like something from Giger. Giger coin. It's a Giger coin. Oh man, I'm sorry guys. This is me being me. Talking about Giger and Geiger. Giger, Geiger, Geiger, Giger. Well, but, this currency can help. Help. You gain items, abilities, and things to help something that something I didn't throw in there, which I probably should, is, well, actually no, later on when I go to actually give you the long description, I'll tell you exactly how you can obtain them, where you can obtain them. I'm not going to show you a map, because if I show you a map of what I'm thinking, you might be like, oh, that's going to be easy, and I'm going to be like, I ruined the surprise. It's something I don't want to do is ruin the surprise of how this game is actually going to be, but I will let you guys actually see like how I'm making it, where it's going to be made, how it's going to look. I am planning on really getting into 3D modeling, so like the industry I chose and the part of it I want to get into is the horror side of it. But I also want to do a couple humor games here and there too, so this might give you a better idea of why I chose Chernobyl. First off, me and it were 10 years apart. The Chernobyl incident happened 10 years before I was born. So it's 33, I'm 23, ironically. So I also took my mom's advice and hey, you know, maybe it's something that I should really look into because like there's a lot of crazy things that happen around it. Like we have tours now where people actually go in, tour this place, and it's like, oh, hey, you know, if they're touring around Chernobyl, they're getting a lot of radiation poisoning because there are a lot of places that are like, oh, with it. Something else that also drew me to wanting to do a Chernobyl game is because if you actually fully think about it, if I start with Chernobyl, they like that, Fukushima, the 3 islands, like a bunch of nuclear disasters, and I use the same characters but add more to it. Yes, it's gonna be a confusing game. Yes, you're gonna be like, wait a minute, there's another alternate ending? There are so many ways this game can end. This is one of those games, I want it to be challenging, I want it to be fun, I want it to be something that everybody's like, hey, you know what, I want to go back to it. I'm curious as to how you can save everybody, you can kill everybody, you can even make it to where you only save the girls, you can only save the guys, you can freaking last man standing. I mean, there's endless possibilities. And sadly, if you choose to only let one person live, well, you're in for a surprise. Well, unless you use a certain way, but let me just say you're not gonna like that, because you're gonna have dancing spiders. You know, I almost want to show you guys what I'm talking about because it's freaking hilarious and give you guys a better clue as to what I'm thinking, but I'm like, You know what, we're gonna leave it as a surprise. I just gotta figure out how I'm gonna animate it because the animation part is probably gonna be one of the hardest, and I'm like, yeah. But animation is gonna be a lot of fun with it. Anyway, your next item is
the police wanted to help. They only had my
photographer's camera, of course, complete in a radioactive proof bag.
I didn't even have a name for it. They used the father of strain. Not that it would have done any good.
I can't even type tonight. Sorry, guys.
Maybe the creepiest part of all of this.
Of course, it's in a radioactive proof bag. Now,
one day, just as quickly as it showed up, every single trace of it just completely disappeared.
Okay, so this one's kind of one of my complicated ideas. It's more of a, if you play as the two characters that can develop the film, you can always document what you're doing by going back to the dark room and being like, hey, you know what? I took pictures of this. It's all in radioactive proof bags, because you fill up your film. If you so choose, you can also, if you play as a character that can't develop the film,
however, this man's behavior was exactly like something from horror. Something in his eyes was so evil. It just turned to stop.
It's just my thing. I'm sorry, guys. I thought there was like a bug or something on my screen. I'm like,
my whole life extremely stressful and terrifying.
That is like absolutely terrifying. But sorry, I promise. I'm just a little spacey tonight. Just a little like, I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, so for the photographer's camera, if you choose to play as someone who cannot develop the film, you can choose to leave clues. Beware. If you play online, other people can take your film. So you're not, if you play online, you're not going to get the same film. If you play single player mode and you're like, oh hey, you know what, I left the film somewhere in a like really weird, peculiar area, I could go back and grab it. The only problem is you got to play as someone who can develop the film. And that's where this gets a little tricky because, well, if you can't develop film, you're unaware of the danger, you're unaware of what's going on, and your only clues are following the trail of the photographer. So, of course, you're going to have this really weird, like, peculiar thing going on where it's like, a character will tell you, hey, I can't do that. Or, hey, that's not going to work. I don't want to go that way. I don't want to go that way. Turn around. Nope, screw this. I'm going this way. So, either way, pay attention to your character throughout this whole game because they will tell you, hey, you're not supposed to go this way. Hey, you're too low of a level for this. Well, if I do it how I want to, you're not going to have levels, but you're going to be like, hey, I don't have certain abilities, so I can't do this. Anyway, players who obtain this item can document their findings, but only 2 characters can develop the film. If you choose to, you can leave the film around until your next time through the game. That's only if you play on single player mode and not online. Online, you ain't going to get the same film. Definitely not going to get the same film. So just kind of be careful what you do. I've got to type that out real quick, so I'll also explain a little bit more as to what the camera does, because I think it's kind of cool. I'm not going to have paranormal stuff in this game, but like you'll be able to catch like shadows. You'll be able to like capture like some pretty strange things that like most people would be like, oh, is that a shadow? Is that a human figure? Is that a mutated person? Yeah, you're gonna end up with some pretty entertaining things throughout this whole game. Yeah, let me go ahead and.
So one of the boys said he walked over to me, stumbled, and put his arm around my shoulder and told me.
Well, something else I might do tonight too is like explain the environment, because like radiation poisoning, all that fun stuff. It's not as fun as it sounds. Excuse me. Wow. I'm sorry, guys. It's quite the opposite. It's painful. It's excruciating. It will. Yeah. It does a lot of things. So it also kind of depends on how you want your game to be played. So, like, if you're like me and you're like, hey, you know what, let's be very strategic. There will be items you can collect and be like, hey, you know what, this will help me progress, this will kind of be useless. Yeah. So, yeah. Please obtain this. That's what I just typed in. Can document.
He tells us that
Findings.
we will be going out to the lake. As Noah goes to leave, someone's asking him to ask him something. I later find out that he ran after him to ask whether there would be any gay people at the party. Apparently, there was going to be.
That's something I'm going to keep reminding everybody of. Yes, you're only going to have 2 characters that can develop the spell, so you got to choose your team wisely. If you choose the computer-controlled character, it's not going to be nice. It's going to be like, nope, you got to take me to the dark room. Nope, I have to do this for you. Nope, I don't want to. And sometimes the character will actually... Oh my goodness, something that I should warn everybody is this: if the characters will backtalk you. Like, if you're playing as a different character and it's like the computer playing as it, and you're like, hey, let's go to the dark room. And you take them to the dark room and they're like, no, I can't do that yet. No, we don't have the right materials. It will turn around and tell you, turn around, walk away, go away. Get me the materials. And the character will just stay there. Just because, but that's just, yeah. That's how I plan on programming it. It's going to be like, this game is going to be a dick. And it's going to be funny. Because you're going to be like, and if you leave the character there, they'll still be there when you go back, but, like, starting to look like sick. And they get sicker and sicker every time you leave them there. Just, it's one of those, you're gonna be like, I don't know if I want to play this game anymore, right? Why'd you do this? But, like, it's gonna be like, it's not gonna be like the difficult where, like, if you leave the character, it disappears. No, it'll still be there, but the character will start looking sicker and sicker and sicker every time you leave it in, like, one place. So, like, key of the game is don't make the character mad, just listen to them and take them with you, because if you leave them, radiation poisoning will set in, and you have to find herbs on top of finding what they want you to find, on top of, like, trying to document stuff, trying to just, it's supposed to be somewhat humorous, too, like, horror humor game. I mean, it's something that, well, you don't see horror humor games, or I haven't ran into any yet. But yeah, I think I spelled develop wrong. I think my computer's telling me I spelled develop wrong. Yeah. It's an asshole. But, like, another thing about this game too is, like, yeah, it should be for everybody, but if I make it as difficult and add the adult content I want to in it, it's gonna have to be rated M for mature. So, like, be prepared for, like, a humorous, like, horrible game that's like, hey, you know what? It's radiation poisoning. Just like, wait until we get to the achievements, you're gonna be like, are those really achievements? Like, I think there's one where your friend has to catch you out of the air, but you both gotta get eaten by a fucking catfish. Which is even funnier, because it's like, that's gonna be like the hardest achievement for you to get. Yeah, where was I? I was talking about the film. Spell tonight.
I told them that it was nothing. I'm not daring to tell them what was actually happening. Sam and I have been watching a movie until late in the night. As we go to bed, he asked me if I had heard that. I looked at him and said no, and he just shrugged and goes to bed. And the next morning, we both wake up with this big mess. My face had been totally wrecked.
So, yeah, it's kind of fun. Just I had to share that with you guys. It was just one of those. It's humorous. It's funny. You kind of get back talking characters whether you like it or not. I'm gonna have to actually fully develop the character, and that's where things are gonna be like. If you could see my paper, it's literally just. I'm trying to get better about it, but character development isn't really something I'm very good at unless I actually feel like I want to get like too drawn into it. And then it's like, let's put personality disorder to like the minimal. Oh, you know, maybe I'll be this character. Maybe I'll be this character. Let's think. If I were a man, that's how some of this process goes sometimes too. So, like, if you guys really want to crack up about something funny, I'll probably have like one instance where I'm doing like character design and be like, oh, you know what? That's not gonna work. You gotta get this person, this personality. It's like your photographer. If you play as the so this game at the beginning, you're gonna play as the photographer. You're gonna take this job, taking photos at Chernobyl because you're supposed to advertise about like radiation poisoning. So throughout this like beginning level, the photographer is going to give you lip everywhere you go. Like if you head towards like the city, it's gonna be like, hey, you know, this isn't a good idea. Hey, you know what? I want to go back. Hey, you're missing something. Oh, shit, I'm talking to you. You missed something. Yeah. It's gonna have, like, a very rude, crude personality that's gonna make you like, what? Did it really just call me a dumbass? Another funny thing about this game that I really want to do, and I feel kind of bad that it's just still a thought in the making, is, what was it? I forget what it was, but it was something hilarious, and it's just, you're gonna have lip, you're gonna have problems, you're gonna have just things that you wouldn't ever imagine in a video game. You're gonna be like, huh, this fucking game. Why did Ray even create it? Well, let me tell you the fun part about creating games. Nobody ever said they had to be easy. If you like a super easy game, well, sucks to be you, because easy is not going to be my thing. Yes, if you play on easy, you might be able to walk halfway through the game before you realize, oh, this isn't exactly what I was expecting. You're not going to be able to find things that you'd be able to find on the harder difficulties, and it won't seem... The enemies won't seem as hard to fight, and you're not going to be able to really do what you can in, like, the hard level, which is... Oh my goodness, there's just... I have some funny things that'll just, yeah. When we get to the accomplishment parts in this, I'm gonna have you guys laughing just as hard as I laughed myself too. And I'm gonna tell you this now. There's some like funny, rude, crude humor in it too. Because like, that's how some of your game designing has to be. Like, if you have it like, oh, then let's say open the store. It's not very fun. This game is so boring. Hops patrol across the room. That's how I see half of you guys being with this. Like, you're gonna play my game and be like, or you're gonna hit the end of it and be like, well, son of a, and just let me shatter my controller. Or you'll break the key on your keyboard and be like, then you'll play back through it and realize that your broken key is very important. I can't even take myself serious right now, guys. It's just one of those, like, it's in the development process. So with it being in the development process, it's not necessarily going to be a very easy game for people to play, be able to get through, be able to do, like, fun things with, but you know, I think when you guys hit a certain point, you're gonna see the humor in it and be like, oh my goodness. Hi! How are you doing tonight? Cheesy Freeze?
He holds me down so I can't do anything. And right as I'm about to pass out, I hear someone shout, "Let go of him."
So, this is also something else I'm gonna throw in there. Oh.
I hear a pop and see green devils fight and fall to the floor. And the police.
I'm doing great. Just having a fun night, talking about a video game that I'm actually going through the process of making. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Thank you for asking. Here, I'm gonna, so you can actually see the top of my head. Well, most of the time, how the process normally starts is like with a game design document, except where I'm not doing like the normal ones that people do, where you have like all your images and everything. I'm not quite there yet. But I am explaining, like, you're gonna have some funny parts in the game. You're gonna have, like, I mix up Giger and Geiger a lot. So, like, if I'm sitting here saying, oh, you get Giger coins, just laugh about it, because they're Geiger coins. They're your currency in the game, which I explained earlier in the video, how, like, you can exchange cool stuff, do fun things with them. Little kid, don't kick. Okay. Everything's, like, paused now, so it's, like, quiet. But, like, right now, what we're on is the radioactive proof bags. What your radioactive proof bags do is that these can be found throughout the game, or purchased using your Geiger coins. Giger. I'm sorry, I feel like a frog when I say that. But your Geiger coins. These can be used only with film in order to leave clues through your game and online play. If you leave clues through your online play, other online characters can steal your clues, which is a fun process. So, yeah. Let me go ahead and check that out. Yep. Spelled that completely wrong. Wait. Game design. Girl? Yep. Girl is finally spelled correctly. That game. Correct. Yes. In order to leave clues throughout the game. This from the clues to you or other players at online. There we go. That simplifies what I already put on here. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna do something real quick. Hopefully my dog doesn't steal my spot, but I'll go quick play on the big screen. Wait a second.
Hey mate, it's Big Bus. For the video we I would like to give Ray Shadow a shout out for sponsoring. And guys, just take a look at how
sorry about that. So like right now we're just making the simple point of this. This will get longer as I go along and actually like fully think about everything. I still gotta do a lot of the research for this. because, like I said at the very beginning, this is gonna be based on like true events that happen, have been happening. Yeah. So this game is like all about realistic, non-realistic, sometimes just some facts that you find that are very scientific. Oh, so I have some of your weapons written down, and like I have like a couple of like obtainable documents, but we'll wait until I get into the document part to like write those ones down. So I gotta actually make sure that that one doesn't get pulled into this. Shoot, there was another thing I was supposed to add in here. Yeah, it's fine. I gotta add in like more of the herbs that you can find. Like one of the ones that I put in there is like in some places it's illegal, other places it's not. So sorry guys, there's drug content in this. Okay, so you have your radio. I spelled machete wrong. I knew I spelled it wrong. That's right, it's not 2 2, so it's just 1 2. I am dyslexic, so do not expect me to spell things correctly all the time. So a weapon you well, what I should say is exploring either city. Either city,
it's a pretty good assumption that if aliens do exist, they store my my dad has stories about being frozen on beaches, being watched in sleep, and a weird story about the stars changing.
This cannot be found.
She even has a few of them. I might tell those stories one day, but
so the reason that I made it so that you cannot find certain weapons at the nuclear power plant is because there's a few things in Reactor 4 that I feel... Okay, we're going to talk about something. And it's something that's very important to this game. I think I brought it up earlier. I think I was talking about the elephant sport earlier. But it's deadly. It's something deadly. It's not an enemy. You're not going to have to fight it. No, that would be another funny achievement. Collect elephant samples. And live to tell the tale. It can kill you. That is why it's like freaking hilarious to me right now. Anyway, so I just realized I made a typo in my actual written document. If I left it how I originally had it, what was I saying? If I left it how I originally had it, you would only get like a tiny pair of shears, and the only thing you could do with that is like slice off fingers. Oh, let me just slice you to pieces using this. Oh my goodness, I hope everybody who is watching is laughing right now because I'm laughing at myself. Because I think this is just freaking hilarious. Just let me just slice my finger off. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop now. Let's actually get this written down. You can find either city not found at power plant. Please note I am talking about gardening tools. I love them gardening tools. Snip, snip. I said I was going to skip over this one. So blood pouches. This is something that's kind of very important, and you'll find the document for it in the game, but when I was doing my research on what radioactive poisoning does to the body, one of the things that slows down radioactive poisoning is a blood transfusion. Well, I gotta think about it. It would have to be, if you use the blood pouches, it would have to be in like a, whatchamacallit, a nuclear safe, no, a nuclear bomb shelter. Best way to put it. But just for the sake of this game, it's you're gonna be able to actually use the blood pouches just to slow it down instead of have it like speed it up like it normally would in real life if you used contaminated radioactive blood. So it obviously some of it's gonna be like, yeah, it's not scientifically correct, but just for the sake of being able to like slow down your process and save yourself, we're gonna make it so that you can use it. Okay, and we used to do it. Blood transfusion. Can't only be found in hospitals. Okay. So I'm pretty sure that's what they're called as IV kits. I'm not sure if that's exactly what it is. Oh shoot. Oh, I did not put that in. Okay, never mind. That's another thing I have to add. Where is my pencil? There's my pencil. There's my other piece of paper. Where's my other piece of paper? Gotta put IV fluid bags. That'll also be another one that like slows your process down a little bit, but where were we? Here it is. Shoot right there. Pick me off. See, I can't even keep my paper. Oh goodness. Okay, so you have your IV kits. Walks into my room. I remember being skittish, but utterly indifferent to be honest. It was easily pouches. Was uncomfortably skipped. Its arms and legs were way too long for the tiny torso. Without the size of maybe a child. See, I'm already. At least at the places that allowed it to follow. You as well. Thank you, Cheesy Freeze. They have no doubt that if it would have but joints that yeah, I forgot to put the IV bag in this part, but like when I'm talking about the hospital, at the end of it, like for that environment, I will also tell you, hey, these items can be collected from here. That's part of why you have your obtainable items short description list, because when I go into the longer one, I will actually start adding pictures of exactly how I want to do this. You know what? We could do some concept art. Nah, we'll wait. We're gonna do this document. Because if we turn around and try to do the logo design a little too soon, then yeah. But so something that I think I might work on at some point tonight, like for just a little bit, is going to be I have 2 different logo designs that I'm going to do. One for my Raylan Artistry and one for my Konke Lutho. Well, I eventually want to switch myself to Konke Lutho games, because here pretty soon when I start making my own games, that's what my thing is going to be, is Konke Lutho games. And I have some pretty cool ideas for those, but just bear with me, we're still working on a document. But yeah, okay. Yeah, we're gonna like hold off on some of my obtainable items right now because I just realized I have a lot of them actually have to go back in and fix. So just be fair warned. Some of these actually are going to like, yeah, some of these have to be like edited again. So I'll edit those here after a bit because like, yeah, this is kind of one of those. We could do the achievements. You know, now that I realize it, I might want to just hold off a little bit. So, oh, that's where that went off. There you are. So let's actually dive into something different. Since we're gonna actually stop with the game designing there. Because if I go any further, I just realized that I've got a lot of things that need to be fixed right now. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back in my red and black folder. Just for now. Because, yeah, I got a lot of editing I gotta do. So, I have 3 different softwares I can choose from. One of them has Konke markers I can use. One of them has some pretty cool things. Give me 1 second, guys. There it is. So we're gonna actually just like stop with the game design document for now. I'm gonna actually just minimize it because, well, like I said, I messed up. I seriously messed up. I need to actually go back and fix a few things. So we're actually gonna go to the other software that I've been messing with called Sketchbook, Autodesk Sketchbook. At my trusty little. Is it really going to sign in again? You know what? We'll just create an account. A bunch of skinny white people. I remember seeing him sit in the corner and just sort of stayed there. Crazy dreams, hey? You asked if it seemed real to him, he said, well, yeah, I had those kinds of dreams since I was a kid. The white guys in the hoods never do anything interesting. This was the only time. Our brains are weird, aren't they? I've brought it up a few times since then, but I just really don't get a whole lot more. I forget my password is. My sister has somewhat of a similar story, but she also remembers like 3 seconds. I personally have about 2 minutes, I'd say. Okay, see, like, if I count what I need to do for it, but we're gonna just do this. See, so like, last night, I was messing around. I have a chibi base that I was just doing crazy stuff with. Like, I'll show you guys what I mean. It's not letting me move. Why is it not? So, before I really get into this, just want to note that it's probably about 9 years old when this happened. And I'm about to get back to this very rich history concerning Native Americans. Everybody else seeing this? Like, no. Oh, this is funny. Okay, we're just gonna go. Small marathon. Just some details about the house that I probably shouldn't really know. I'm so mad at this right now. I was always a kid that really enjoyed learning about the power. Okay, so like right now we're in the design topic marker thing. So like, but I found out that the older we have special black. So what I want to do is, like, I was just saying, we did. I want to do like a chibi base. Normally I'd have an image here and I'd just like trace it because it's easier. But tonight we're gonna try something different. You ready? Used to hang out. It's not really. I noticed that there was some sort of gully. Ooh, Autodesk. Ooh, that's the problem. Hold on, guys. It was actually a creek that got filled up. We were both confused as to. Okay, hold on, we gotta go in here. Find my weapon thingy. Shortly after that, I started digging around the creek, thinking I could do a dinosaur bones, but I found other things. Mum and grandmother were kind of startled and yet again baffled, but I started bringing small toys to them from the filled up creek. That is
Things
back on
like
tablet.
marbles and plastic buildings. We didn't think much of it until one day I bought them a stone arrowhead from the Bulldock Creek. It was an actual stone arrowhead too, because we didn't bought them at a local pawn shop and collect and buy some artifacts like that from the area, but I actually wanted to keep it because it was
Just let it download the driver update.
and kept digging them up.
That's one a lot.
When I came, I had to sleep with my
Patched it needs to be.
My bedroom was still being painted upstairs. I lived with my mother and grandparents at the time.
Yep.
They were all heavy smokers, so they gathered up on the porch to smoke. I also had 2 dogs and a bird. The bird was in the parlour or apart from my grandma's room. The dogs were at my grandparents and I went to the porch.
You might actually just use Photoshop tonight.
I was trying to sleep there. Something just
Since
felt
Autodesk
small.
is not liking it.
The windows were open. It was really warm in the room, but there was no breeze from it. The night was just dead still. My grandmother had this fake palm tree, this tall table right next to the window in front of my bed, and I was just about to close my eyes and the tree just.
Alright, everybody, I'll be back.
Ooh.
Just gotta restart my computer
It was shaking branches, but
because it doesn't want to cooperate.
it was